Why do some men face life's toughest battles with a calm, steady gaze? Could ancient wisdom hold the key to mastering your own struggles and soaring to new heights? What if you could unlock a mindset that turns chaos into clarity and failure into power? Welcome to Daily Stoic Habits, where we dive into battle-tested Stoic philosophy to reshape how you live, lead, and thrive. Today we're going to explore the 10 Stoic rules every smart man follows to succeed. Which isn't just a bunch of old principles from the past. It's a living, practical guide that men like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, and Zeno used to conquer empires, endure exile, and find unshakable peace. These Stoic giants faced betrayal, loss, and uncertainty, but they forged lives of purpose and resilience, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire millions. Their wisdom isn't locked away in history books. It's a roadmap for anyone willing to take control of their own destiny. Stoicism teaches you how to tame the storms of your mind, how to stand firm when the world tries to knock you down. Have you ever felt like the stress of work, relationships, or constant notifications is dragging you down? That's where these 10 rules come in, providing practical, no-nonsense tools to cut through the noise. From navigating toxic relationships to staying laser-focused on your goals, Stoicism equips you to handle life's curveballs with resilience and grace. Why do top performers, entrepreneurs, athletes, creatives turn to these ideas? Because they work. They eliminate distractions, sharpen your focus, and build an unbreakable core of inner strength. Whether you're climbing the corporate ladder, seeking deeper relationships, or simply yearning for a life of meaning, these principles are your foundation. Imagine this. Instead of reacting to every setback, you respond with calm, confidence, knowing exactly what's within your control. That's the Stoic advantage, a mindset that not only helps you survive, but thrives, no matter the odds. These 10 rules will show you how to embrace solitude to reveal your true self, protect your mental health like a fortress, and communicate with honesty and respect. Each rule is a step toward a life where you're not just another guy chasing quick wins. You're a person with purpose, grounded in wisdom. Grab a notebook, turn off your phone, and get ready to take notes that could change everything. This isn't about quick fixes. It's about building a life you're proud of, one choice at a time. What makes Stoicism so powerful? It's not about running away from life's challenges. It's about facing them head-on with tools that have stood the test of time. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not over events. Realize this, and you will find power." That's the core of these rules. Master what's inside you to conquer what's around you. Whether you're struggling with self-doubt, managing a busy schedule, or striving to be a better partner or leader, this philosophy can help. Before you get started, subscribe to the Daily Stoic Habits channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a meaningful video on the channel. Ready to get started? Let's start with the first rule. Embracing solitude to discover your true self is the step that opens everything else up. What if the key to unshakable strength lies in the quiet moments you spend alone? Stoicism teaches that solitude isn't loneliness. It's a sacred space for self-discovery. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will always bubble up if you are willing to dig." This first rule challenges you to embrace solitude as a friend, not a foe. By stepping away from the noise of the world, you uncover your deepest fears, hopes, and desires, forging a foundation of self-acceptance that no one can shake. Ready to meet the real you? In today's world, being alone often feels like a punishment. Social media, constant notifications, and packed schedules push us to seek validation from others, leaving little room for self-reflection. But Stoicism flips this script. Solitude is where you build the strength to stand tall. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, believed that true peace starts with living in harmony with yourself. When you're comfortable in your own company, you stop chasing external approval, whether it's likes on a post or praise from a boss. This inner calm lets you make decisions rooted in your values, not fleeting trends or opinions. Solitude isn't about isolating yourself. It's about diving deep into your soul, Think of it as a mental gym where you train your mind to face life's challenges with clarity. Without distractions, you confront what drives you, what scares you, and what you truly want. This self-knowledge becomes your compass, guiding you through relationships, career choices, and tough times. Why do so many great leaders carve out time for reflection? Because they know that understanding themselves is the bedrock of resilience and purpose. By embracing solitude, you cultivate a friendship with yourself that makes every other connection richer and more authentic. Start small. Set aside 10 minutes daily to be alone with your thoughts. No phone, no distractions. Sit quietly, journal, or take a walk. Ask yourself, what am I feeling? What do I want? Over time, increase this to 30 minutes. Try a solo activity, like reading or hiking, to enjoy your own company. Reflect on a recent decision. Did it align with your values or someone else's expectations? Practice saying no to social plans that drain you, freeing up time for self-discovery. Keep a notebook to track insights about your fears, goals, and joys. These steps build a habit of solitude that strengthens your inner voice, making you unshakable in any storm. Ready to unlock your true self? Start today. Find 10 minutes to sit in silence and listen to your thoughts. You'll be amazed at what you discover. Share your experience in the comments. What did solitude teach you? Let's build a life of purpose, one quiet moment at a time. Rule 2. Protect your past. Why does your past feel like a weight you can't shake? Stoicism says it's not the past itself, but how you guard it that shapes your present. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." This second rule urges you to protect your past, keeping its lessons sacred while shielding it from judgment or misuse. By holding your history close, you preserve your inner peace and control your narrative. Ready to turn your past into a source of strength, not vulnerability? Your past is a treasure chest of experiences, joys, sorrows, triumphs, and mistakes that shaped who you are. But in a world obsessed with oversharing, spilling every detail can leave you exposed. Stoicism teaches that not everyone deserves access to your story. Seneca warned against letting others twist your narrative, as gossip or judgment can erode your confidence and peace. Protecting your past doesn't mean hiding it. It's about choosing who to trust with its intimate pieces. This selective sharing preserves your dignity and keeps your focus on growth, not regret. When you overshare, you risk handing others the power to define you. A casual comment about a past failure, like a job loss, can become fodder for criticism or pity, pulling you back into old wounds. Stoicism flips this. Your past is a teacher, not a chain. By guarding it, you extract its lessons, resilience, wisdom, grit, while letting go of shame. This practice builds a mental fortress, ensuring your present and future aren't haunted by careless disclosures. Why do confident people seem so unshaken? They've learned to keep their past sacred, sharing only what uplifts or educates, keeping their inner world intact. Be mindful of what you share. Before revealing a past experience, ask, does this person need to know? Will this empower me or expose me? Limit personal details in casual settings like work chats or social media. If someone pries, redirect with a vague but polite response like, "It was a tough time, but I learned a lot." Journal about your past to process it privately, extracting lessons without public scrutiny. Share vulnerable stories only with trusted friends who've earned your confidence. When discussing your history, focus on growth. That setback taught me to pivot. These habits keep your past a source of strength, not a weapon others can wield. Your past is yours to protect. Start guarding it today. Try journaling one lesson from a tough moment without sharing it publicly. Feel the freedom? Drop a comment. What's one way you'll keep your story sacred? Let's take control of our narratives and build a stronger tomorrow. Rule 3. Prioritize your mental health. What if the secret to conquering life's chaos isn't in hustle or grind, but in guarding the one thing that keeps you grounded? Your mind? Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." In a world that glorifies busyness, where deadlines pile up, notifications ping endlessly, and stress creeps into every corner, prioritizing your mental health isn't just wise, it's essential. Stoicism teaches that your mind is your fortress, and neglecting it leaves you vulnerable to life's storms. This rule isn't about bubble baths or fleeting escapes. It's about building a resilient inner world that nothing can shatter. Why does mental health matter so much? Because it's the lens through which you see everything: your work, your relationships, your purpose. A cluttered mind, weighed down by anxiety or self-doubt, distorts reality, turning small setbacks into towering obstacles. Seneca warned that we often waste time chasing things that don't matter, like others' approval, while ignoring the fragile ecosystem of our thoughts. When you neglect your mental health, you're like a warrior heading into battle without armor, brave, but exposed. Stoicism flips this. Your mind needs care, just like your body needs exercise. A strong mind doesn't just endure challenges, it transforms them into opportunities for growth, letting you face life with clarity and calm. Think about those moments when stress feels like a tidal wave. Maybe it's a work project gone wrong, or a heated argument that lingers in your head. Without mental resilience, these moments can spiral, draining your energy and clouding your judgment. Stoicism offers a lifeline. Protect your inner peace with fierce intention. This means setting boundaries, like stepping away from toxic conversations, or carving out time for quiet reflection. It's not selfish, it's survival. When you prioritize your mental health, you're not just saving yourself, you're showing up stronger for the people who matter. Ever notice how the calmest people in the room seem to have an unshakable core? That's the Stoic way, nurturing your mind to stand tall, no matter what life throws. So how do you start? Begin with small, deliberate steps. Each morning, take 5 minutes to breathe deeply and clear your thoughts. Call it a mental reset. If negative thoughts creep in, write them down, then challenge them. Are they true or just noise? Schedule. Time for activities that recharge you, like a walk in nature, reading a book, or sketching in a notebook. Say no to commitments that overwhelm you, like extra work tasks that cut into your rest. Limit time with people who drain your energy, those who criticize endlessly or stir drama. If you're struggling, don't hesitate to seek help. Talking to a trusted friend or therapist isn't weakness, it's courage. Marcus Aurelius leaned on reflection to stay grounded. You can too. Keep a journal to track your mood and triggers, noting what lifts you up and what pulls you down. Over time, these habits build a mental shield, letting you navigate life's ups and downs with ease. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Some days stress will hit hard, and that's okay. Stoicism teaches that vulnerability is human, but resilience is a choice. By investing in your mental health, you're crafting a life where you're not just reacting to the world, but shaping it. Start today. Pick one small habit like a 5-minute breather and stick with it. Notice how it shifts your perspective. Share in the comments. What's one way you'll guard your mind this week? Let's build a fortress of peace together, one thought at a time. Rule 4. Live authentically. Feel like you're wearing a mask, playing a role to fit in. Seneca said, "It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable." And that power comes from living authentically, being unapologetically you. In a world that nudges you toward conformity, where social media highlights curated lives and workplaces, reward fitting in, authenticity is a bold act of defiance. This Stoic rule challenges you to shed the expectations of others, align your actions with your values, and let your true self shine. It's not just about honesty. It's about building a life that feels right, deep in your bones. Authenticity starts with knowing who you are. Too often we bend to please others, saying yes to plans we dread, chasing careers that don't spark joy, or hiding quirks to avoid judgment. Stoicism says this is a trap. Epictetus taught that true freedom lies in focusing on what you control, your thoughts, choices, and actions. When you live inauthentically, you're handing that control to others, letting their opinions steer your path. It's exhausting, like rowing a boat against the current. Living authentically reverses this. You set your course by your own compass, guided by what matters to you. Why do some people radiate confidence even in tough moments? They've embraced their uniqueness, quirks and all, and live without apology. This isn't about being loud or rebellious, it's about quiet conviction. Picture a guy who loves painting but works in finance because it's practical. Every day he feels a pang of disconnection. Now picture him carving out evenings to paint, sharing his art with friends and feeling alive. That's authenticity, honoring your passions, even if they don't fit the mold. Stoicism urges you to define your values, maybe it's creativity, loyalty, or adventure, and let them guide your choices. When you do, you attract people who resonate with the real you, building relationships that feel genuine, not forced. Living authentically also means owning your flaws. You're not perfect, and that's your strength. Admitting mistakes or saying, "I don't know," builds trust and respect far more than a polished facade. How do you live this way? Start by reflecting. What do you value most? Write down 3 things: family, growth, freedom, and check if your daily actions align. If not, adjust. Say no to requests that clash with your principles, like joining gossip that feels wrong. Practice small acts of courage. Share an unpopular opinion in a meeting or wear that quirky shirt you love. Listen to your gut. When does it feel heavy or light? That's your inner guide. If you're unsure who you are, try new things. A cooking class, a solo trip to uncover what lights you up. Be honest in conversations. If a friend asks your opinion, speak your truth kindly, not what they want to hear. Seneca leaned on self-reflection to stay true. You can journal nightly, asking, "Did I live as me today?" These steps build a life where you're not performing, you're thriving. Authenticity is magnetic. It draws respect, trust, and real connections. It's not always easy. Standing out can feel risky. But Stoicism reminds us that the greatest risk is living a life that's not yours. Take one step today. Say no to something that doesn't feel right or share a small truth about yourself. Feel the weight lift? Drop a comment. What's one way you'll be more authentic this week? Let's craft lives that reflect who we are, bold and true. Rule 5. Maintain relationships. Ever wonder why some people seem surrounded by loyal friends and family no matter what life throws their way? Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, said, "The greatest blessing of mankind comes from social life." In a world where connections often feel fleeting, swiped away by a screen or buried under busy schedules, this Stoic rule reminds us to nurture the ties that matter most. Maintaining relationships isn't about collecting followers or chasing romance. It's about cultivating bonds that feed your soul, offer strength in tough times, and spark joy in the good ones. These are the roots that keep you grounded. Human connection is woven into our nature like threads in a tapestry. Stoicism teaches that we thrive when we invest in meaningful relationships, whether with friends, family, or partners. But here's the catch. Not every tie deserves your energy. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to spread yourself thin, juggling shallow chats or toxic dynamics that drain you. Zeno's wisdom urges us to focus on quality over quantity. A single heartfelt conversation with a friend can outweigh a dozen superficial ones. Why do the happiest people seem to have a tight circle? They've learned to prioritize bonds that align with their values: trust, respect, and mutual growth. Relationships aren't just gifts, they're responsibilities. Seneca warned against letting romantic passion eclipse other connections, like friendships or family ties, which offer steady support through life's highs and lows. Picture this. You're reeling from a breakup, and it's your childhood friend, who shows up with coffee ready to listen. That's the power of a nurtured bond. Stoicism doesn't mean being cold or detached. It's about showing up fully for those who matter, while gently stepping back from those who don't. By balancing romantic and platonic ties, you build a network that holds you up, like a sturdy bridge over turbulent waters. How do you make this work? Start by auditing your relationships. List the people you spend time with. Do they lift you or pull you down? Reach out to someone you've neglected, like a sibling or old friend. Send a text, plan a call, or meet for lunch. Make it a habit to check in regularly. Weekly calls with family, monthly game nights with friends. Be present. Put your phone away during conversations and really listen. If a relationship feels one-sided or toxic, set boundaries. Politely decline invites that feel draining. Show gratitude. A simple, "I appreciate you," can deepen a bond. Seneca leaned on letters to stay connected. You can use a quick note or voice message. Plan group activities like a hike or book club to strengthen your circle. These small acts weave a web of support that's there when you need it. Maintaining relationships takes effort, but it's worth it. These bonds are your anchor in life's storms, your cheer squad in victories. Stoicism reminds us that we're stronger together, but only if we choose wisely. Take one step today. Reach out to someone you value and tell them why they matter. Feel the warmth of that connection? Share in the comments. Who's one person you'll reconnect with this week? Let's build a circle that makes us better, one bond at a time. Rule 6. Manage your time. Ever feel like time slips through your fingers, leaving you wondering where the day went? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Time is your most precious resource, and this Stoic rule demands you guard it fiercely. In a world bombarding you with distractions, endless emails, social media scrolls, and last-minute requests, managing your time isn't just a skill, it's a superpower that unlocks your goals, health, and peace. Stoicism teaches you to wield time like a master craftsman, shaping a life of purpose. Time isn't just a clock ticking, it's the raw material of your dreams. Seneca warned that we waste time on trivial pursuits, like chasing others' approval or saying yes to every invite, only to realize too late that it's gone. Poor time management doesn't just stress you out, it robs you of growth. Ever spent an evening doom scrolling, then felt empty? That's time stolen from what matters. Stoicism flips this. Every moment is a chance to align your actions with your values. When you control your time, you control your life, carving out space for work, rest, and relationships that fuel you. Why do some people seem to achieve so much while staying calm? They've mastered the art of saying no to distractions and yes to priorities. Picture a guy swamped with work, yet he still hits the gym, reads nightly, and calls his mom. How? He guards his hours like a vault. Stoicism teaches that time is finite, so you must choose wisely. This isn't about cramming more tasks into your day, it's about focusing on what moves the needle. By setting clear boundaries and prioritizing ruthlessly, you create a life where you're not just busy, you're fulfilled, ready to take charge. Start by mapping your day. Each evening, list 3 priorities for tomorrow, maybe a work project, a workout, a friend's call, and block time for them. Use a timer to limit distractions, 25 minutes of focused work, then a 5-minute break. Say no to low-value tasks like unnecessary meetings. Try, "I'm booked, but let's connect later." Turn off non-urgent notifications. Your inbox can wait. Schedule downtime. 30 minutes to read or walk keeps you sharp. Delegate tasks that don't need your touch, like errands. Seneca planned his days with intention. You can use a simple planner or app. Review weekly. Did your time reflect your goals? Adjust as needed. These habits turn time from an enemy into an ally. Managing time is freedom. It's choosing to live deliberately, not reactively. Stoicism reminds us that every hour is a chance to build the life you want. Start small. Pick one distraction to cut today, like 30 minutes less on social media. Feel the difference? Drop a comment. What's one way you'll reclaim your time this week? Let's master our days and craft a life of impact, one focused moment at a time. Rule 7. Communicate honestly. Ever caught yourself biting your tongue, afraid to say what you really think? Epictetus declared, "No man is free who is not master of himself, and true freedom starts with honest communication." In a world where half-truths, white lies, and filtered posts blur reality, this Stoic rule challenges you to speak your truth with courage and clarity. Honest communication isn't about being blunt or harsh, it's about building trust, forging real connections, and standing firm in your values. When your words align with your heart, you create a life where relationships thrive and your voice carries weight. Dishonesty, even in small doses, erodes trust like rust on iron. Think about those moments when you dodged a tough conversation. Maybe you told a friend everything's fine when you were hurt, or stayed silent at work to avoid conflict. These shortcuts feel safe, but they build walls distancing you from others and even yourself. Stoicism teaches that authenticity in speech is a powerful act of self-mastery. Epictetus urged us to focus on what we control, our words and intentions, rather than worrying about others' reactions. When you speak honestly, you're not just sharing thoughts, you're declaring who you are. Why do some people command respect effortlessly? Their words ring true, cutting through noise with quiet strength. Honest communication doesn't mean unloading every thought without a filter. It's about clarity and kindness, saying what needs to be said with respect. Picture a coworker taking credit for your idea. Instead of stewing silently, a Stoic approach might be calmly stating, "I appreciate the enthusiasm, but I contributed that idea. Let's clarify roles next time." This isn't aggressive, it's assertive, preserving your integrity while fostering understanding. In personal relationships, honesty builds bridges. Telling a partner, "I feel disconnected when we don't talk," opens the door to closeness, far more than vague complaints. Stoicism reminds us that truth, delivered thoughtfully, strengthens bonds and clears the fog of misunderstanding. How do you start? Practice pausing before you speak. Ask yourself, is this true? Is it necessary? If a friend asks for feedback, resist sugarcoating. Try, "I see your effort, but here's where you could improve." In conflicts, state your feelings clearly without blame. "I felt overlooked when you made that decision alone." Write down tough conversations beforehand to organize your thoughts. If you're tempted to lie to avoid trouble, challenge yourself to be direct but kind. Limit vague social media posts that hide your real thoughts. Share what matters, or stay silent. Marcus Aurelius reflected daily to align his words with his values. You can do the same by journaling about a recent conversation. Did you speak your truth? Over time, these habits make honesty second nature, turning your words into a beacon of trust. Honesty isn't always easy. Speaking up can feel like stepping into a storm. But Stoicism teaches that courage in communication sets you free, letting you live without the weight of pretense. Start small. In one conversation today, say what you mean, kindly but firmly. Feel the clarity it brings. Share in the comments. What's one honest thing you'll say this week? Let's build relationships rooted in truth, one brave word at a time. Rule 8. Keep a fair perspective. Why do some people stay calm when life feels like a pressure cooker? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." This Stoic rule urges you to keep a fair perspective, freeing your mind from obsession, bias, or snap judgments. In a world where outrage spreads like wildfire, online arguments, workplace rivalries, personal grudges, a balanced outlook is your shield. It's not about ignoring emotions. It's about seeing clearly, grounding your thoughts in reason, and reclaiming your inner peace. Our minds can trap us, turning molehills into mountains. Ever fixated on a coworker's slight, replaying it until it consumed you, or judged someone's post online without the full story? Stoicism warns that unchecked thoughts distort reality, chaining us to anger or envy. Marcus Aurelius taught that our perspective shapes our experience. Focus on what's in your control, like your reactions, and let go of what isn't, like others' opinions. A fair perspective means stepping back, questioning your assumptions, and choosing reason over impulse. Why do some people navigate conflicts with ease? They've trained their minds to see the bigger picture, not just the heat of the moment. Keeping perspective isn't about being aloof, it's about clarity. Picture a friend venting about a bad day. Instead of jumping to, "They're always negative," consider their stress. Maybe they're overwhelmed. This shift doesn't excuse bad behavior, but it keeps you from overreacting. In a heated debate, a Stoic might pause, asking, "What's the other side's point?" This diffuses tension and fosters understanding. Stoicism also guards against obsession, like chasing someone's approval or dwelling on a mistake. By focusing on your own growth, you break free from mental loops, redirecting energy to what matters: your goals, your values, your peace. How do you practice this? Start by noticing when emotions cloud your judgment, your heart races, your thoughts spiral. Take a deep breath, count to 5, and ask, "What's really happening here?" If you're upset, write down the facts, not feelings. "They didn't reply to my email," not "they're ignoring me." Challenge biases. Before judging someone's actions, consider their context. Limit time on social media where outrage thrives. Curate feeds that inform, not inflame. When you catch yourself obsessing, shift focus, work on a project, call a friend, or walk outside. Marcus Aurelius used nightly reflection to reset his perspective. Try journaling, asking, "Did I see things fairly today?" If you're stuck, talk to a trusted confidant. They'll offer a fresh angle. These steps train your mind to stay balanced, no matter the chaos. A fair perspective is freedom. It lets you respond, not react, to life's challenges. Stoicism reminds us that our thoughts shape our reality, so choose clarity over clutter. Try it today. Next time you're upset, pause and list the facts. Feel the calm it brings? Drop a comment. What's one way you'll keep perspective this week? Let's see the world clearly, one reasoned thought at a time. Rule 9. Develop yourself. Ever feel like you're running in place, chasing goals that don't light you up? Seneca said, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." This Stoic rule is a call to arms. Develop yourself, not to impress others, but to become the best version of you. In a world obsessed with quick wins, viral fame, instant riches, personal growth is the slow, steady fire that fuels a life of purpose. Stoicism teaches that your greatest project is you, and every day is a chance to sharpen your mind, strengthen your character, and grow into who you're meant to be. Growth isn't about stacking trophies or outshining others, it's about inner transformation. Marcus Aurelius urged us to focus on what we control, our thoughts, actions, and efforts, rather than external validation. Too often, we tie our worth to likes, promotions, or others' praise, only to feel empty when they fade. Stoicism flips this. Your value lies in your progress, not perfection. Why do some people seem to radiate quiet confidence? They've committed to lifelong learning, embracing challenges as chances to evolve. Whether it's mastering a skill, overcoming a fear, or refining your values, personal development roots you in purpose, making you unshakable amid life's storms. Picture a guy stuck in a dead-end job, scrolling through others' highlight reels, feeling lesser. Now imagine him picking up a coding course, reading philosophy, or hitting the gym, not to flaunt but to grow. Each step, no matter how small, shifts his mindset, building resilience and pride. Stoicism teaches that growth is a gardener's work. Tend your potential daily and watch it bloom. This isn't selfish, it's essential. When you invest in yourself, you bring more to your relationships, work, and dreams. A stronger you lifts everyone around you, like a tree offering shade to those nearby. How do you start? Set one clear goal. Learn a language, run a 5K, or read a book monthly. Break it into tiny steps. 10 minutes of practice daily beats waiting for motivation. Track progress in a journal. Today, I learned 5 new words. Try something that scares you, like public speaking or solo travel, to stretch your limits. Reflect nightly, as Seneca did. What did I improve today? Curate your influences. Swap mindless scrolling for podcasts or mentors who inspire growth. If you fail, don't dwell. Ask, what's the lesson? Surround yourself with people who challenge you to level up, not coast. These habits turn growth into a lifestyle, not a checklist, building a you that's ready for anything. Personal development is a marathon, not a sprint. Stoicism reminds us that every effort, even unseen, shapes a life of depth and meaning. Take one step today. Pick a skill or habit and commit to 10 minutes of practice. Feel the spark? Share in the comments. What's one way you'll grow this week? Let's become our best selves, one deliberate choice at a time. Rule 10. Take pride in your achievements. Why do we downplay our wins, brushing them off like they don't matter? Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in our imagination than in reality." This final Stoic rule urges you to take pride in your achievements, no matter their size, because every step forward is proof of your grit and heart. In a world that pushes us to chase the next big thing, new goals, new hustle, celebrating what you've done anchors you in gratitude and fuels your drive. Stoicism teaches that honoring your journey isn't arrogance. It's a quiet nod to your resilience. Achievements aren't just shiny moments like promotions or medals. They're the small victories too. Finishing a tough project, sticking to a workout, or apologizing after a fight. Marcus Aurelius saw each task as a chance to practice virtue, whether it was ruling an empire or writing in his journal. Too often, we let self-doubt or comparison steal our joy, thinking, "It's not enough." Stoicism says otherwise. Every win reflects your effort, discipline, and growth. Why do some people carry themselves with steady pride? They've learned to value their path, seeing setbacks and successes as part of a meaningful whole. Celebrating your achievements builds a foundation of self-worth. Picture a woman who finally ran her first mile after months of training. Instead of shrugging it off, she pauses to savor the moment. Maybe buys herself a coffee or shares the win with a friend. That act of recognition fuels her to keep going. Stoicism teaches that gratitude for your efforts, big or small, keeps you grounded, shielding you from the trap of always needing more. It's not about bragging. It's about owning your story, knowing each chapter, triumph or struggle, has shaped you into someone stronger. How do you live this? Start by noticing your wins daily, even tiny ones. I spoke up in a meeting or I cooked a new recipe. Write them down in a journal to see your progress stack up. Celebrate intentionally. Treat yourself to a favorite meal or reflect quietly with a walk. Share your achievements with trusted people who'll cheer you on, not compete. When self-doubt creeps in, counter it. I worked hard for this. Set milestones for bigger goals, like finishing a course, and mark them with something meaningful, a note to yourself or a small ritual. Seneca reflected on his day to find joy in effort. You can ask nightly, "What am I proud of today?" Avoid comparison traps. Unfollow accounts that make you feel less. These habits weave pride into your life, turning every step into a reason to stand tall. Pride in your achievements is a Stoic superpower. It fuels resilience and gratitude, lighting your path forward. Start today. Write down one thing you're proud of, no matter how small. Feel the lift? Share in the comments. What's one win you'll celebrate this week? Let's honor our journeys one proud moment at a time. And there you have it. 10 Stoic rules to transform the way you live, love, and lead. From embracing solitude to uncover your true self, to guarding your past, nurturing your mental health, and living with unshakable authenticity, these principles, forged by giants like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, and Zeno, aren't just ancient wisdom. They're a blueprint for thriving in today's chaotic world. Ever feel like life's pulling you in 100 directions with stress, distractions, and doubts threatening to knock you off course? That's where Stoicism shines, offering a steady hand to guide you back to what matters: your mind, your choices, your purpose. These rules aren't about chasing fleeting highs or impressing others. They're about building a life of depth, resilience, and meaning, one deliberate step at a time. Why do these ideas endure centuries after they were written? Because they work. They cut through the noise of modern life, endless notifications, social media comparisons, workplace pressures, and anchor you in truths that never fade. By maintaining relationships that lift you up, managing your time like a precious resource, communicating with bold honesty, and keeping a fair perspective, you're not just surviving, you're crafting a life you're proud of. Developing yourself daily and celebrating every achievement, no matter how small, fuels a fire within, pushing you to grow stronger, wiser, and more grounded. Picture a version of you who faces challenges with calm confidence, who builds bonds that endure, who wakes up each day knowing they're living true to their values. That's the Stoic promise. A life not dictated by outside chaos, but shaped by your inner strength. But here's the real magic. You don't need to master all 10 rules overnight. Stoicism isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Start with one rule that speaks to you. Maybe it's spending 10 minutes in solitude, to hear your own thoughts, or saying no to a distraction to reclaim your time. Each small act is a seed planted, growing into habits that transform how you see yourself and the world. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." These words remind us that every choice matters. Every moment is a chance to align with your best self. Whether you're battling self-doubt, juggling a hectic schedule, or striving to be a better friend, partner, or leader, these rules are your tools to rise above, to live with clarity and courage. What's next? Take a moment to reflect. Which rule hit home for you? Was it the call to protect your mental peace or the challenge to celebrate your wins? Pick one and try it today. Write it down, act on it, feel the shift. Share your story with someone close. You might inspire them to start their own Stoic journey. This isn't just about you. It's about building a ripple effect, spreading wisdom and strength to those around you. Imagine a community of people living these principles, supporting each other to grow, to thrive, to face life's storms with grace. That's the power of Stoicism, and it starts with your next step. As our time is limited, we'll wrap up here. I hope this video has been helpful to you. If it's made even the slightest difference in your day, I'm truly grateful. Save this video to your playlist to revisit whenever you need a dose of Stoic wisdom. Please like and share it with others, because sometimes a timely message can change a life. And don't forget to subscribe to the Daily Stoic Habits channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next valuable video. Goodbye for now, and I'll see you soon.